now two bipartisan lawmakers who introduced this bill. It's called the Ensuring Justice for Camp Lejeune Victims Act. Democratic Congresswoman Deborah Ross and Republican Congressman Greg Murphy, both of them from the great state of North Carolina. Congressman Murphy, you actually represent Camp Lejeune. It's in your congressional district. How would this bill help veterans and their families?
Well, the original bill, Jake, was what, took so many years in coming. And sadly enough, our Navy was derelict, really, in recognizing the problems that were going on at Camp Lejeune. This was pulled together as part of the PACT Act and says, hey, look, it is time to have your day in court. As the person just mentioned, there were problems with the Department of Justice, but this is what this correction bill is trying to get individuals really to get some adjudication to their claims so that they can get the relief that they really, truly deserve.
And Congresswoman Ross, as the Lance Corporal just said, of the roughly 400,000 claims that have been filed, there have been maybe only 100 settlements or so that have been reached as of last year. What kinds of roadblocks have some of your constituents run into when trying to get the justice they deserve?
Well, there really have been three roadblocks. And as a matter of fact, I had a town hall earlier this week, and a veteran who has had medical problems because of water at Camp Lejeune was at that town hall and thanked both Congressman Murphy and myself for introducing this Corrections Act. So the three things are a jury trial. We thought it was clear that you get a jury trial under the original PACT Act, but a district court judge said it was not clear. So we are making it crystal clear. The other thing is that under the PACT Act, only one venue, only one federal court could hear the case. And that would be in the Eastern District of North Carolina, one of the fastest growing districts in the entire country. We haven't gotten a new judge there since 1990. This would open it up to 3 district courts in North Carolina and 3 in South Carolina. And then the third really important thing is it would prescribe what the attorney's fees are for both settlement and if you go to trial. And that would let victims, these brave service members, know what their compensation would be based on whether they want a protracted legal fight or whether they want to settle early. And it would help them make that assessment. And these attorney's fees are things that are consistent with what fair attorney's fees are around the country.
Congressman Murphy, do you think this bill could pass as a standalone measure?
Yeah, I do. There's plenty of bipartisan support. Deborah's on judiciary. I'm not. And I think there's been plenty of bipartisan support occurring on that committee, which is really the one of jurisdiction, and then further in the House. I think it will. And there's plenty of momentum. Senator Tillis is spearheading it over in the Senate. One thing I think that's important is I'm a physician. I'm not an attorney like Deborah is one thing that's brought out is general causation. If you are on the base for a certain period of time and you have a disorder, there is an association with this. It does not mean just because you were on that base and you developed Parkinson's, for example, that caused that. So it gives a little bit of more leeway, a little bit better avenue to say, all right, you were there. This is a general causation. You should get relief. So no, I do think there'll be a lot of momentum to have this passed.
Congresswoman Ross, Congressman Murphy, both of you from the great state of North Carolina, thank you both for joining me. Please stay in touch. We want to keep covering this legislation until it becomes law.
Thank you for covering it.
Coming up next, that